Mike here at Cup of Rad, and we are in my garage, so excuse the mess, but I'm going to show you something really cool. I'm going to try out this video thing for a moment, just to kind of feel out how videos work for me and if they turn out well. So we do a podcast. We can find our podcast on YouTube here, so you can check them out there, or on Libsyn, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that too. It's a nerd podcast, but this week is all about foam. We're going to try that video with foam. I made a diorama for some of my photos over on Instagram, Cup of Rad, and I took that inspiration from a gentleman, Insane Dragon Ball, and with that, because he had a dio, and he was like, oh, you should make a dio for your figures, and I got into Dragon Ball in the figure arts, so I decided to make a diorama to be able to take more photos, because the area we're in, there's a lot of rain, so sometimes it's hard to get outside to take photos in the rain if you don't want your figures to get all wet and muddy and all that. So I'm going to show you the diorama I made. So here is the diorama that I have created. It's a rock face. I figured it'd be pretty easy to create just a basic rock face with a blue sky behind it, because that's a pretty generic thing for a lot of figures to battle on. And through here I put in the cuts and the divots and all that from erosion and possible battle. Then what I also did was I took another piece and I added some smashed earth, basically. From there, you can see kind of the scaling, right, of it. It works really good with those 5-6 inch figures. So we got Goku there, looking all angry, ready to kick some butt. So next thing is how did I make this diorama? Well, let's find out. As you can see, there's no frills with my garage. This is purely amateur, hobbyist craft time. It's not hardcore. It's just for fun, because I like to do that kind of stuff. It keeps me busy, you know, keeps that zen and calm and all that. So basically, I went to the hardware store and I got insulation foam. Just a chunk of insulation foam. And from there, basic box cutter. And the weird thing is I've got heavy duty box cutter. I've got, you know, the fine precision X-Acto knife. The cheap basic dollar store one sliced through this thing like butter. The other ones had problems, which was really weird. So from that, I just designed the look of what I wanted. And, you know, it just, let's see, I got some chunk, right? And so when it came to creating the base and all that, it was just a matter of slicing in the details. And all of a sudden you get a craggy rock face, right? So I really was excited to create a place to be able to put these photos, and I've begun taking photos with these figures on it, and I think it looks really nice. There's always room for improvement. From that, I sanded it down because it's shiny. The insulation foam is a little shiny. So the paint doesn't stick as well to that. The cuts, it sticks really good too, so I sanded it down to be able to get that. And then literally, the paint that I use is just a acrylic Craftsmart paint, the basics. And it goes on there really good in a couple coats. Nice cheap pack of brushes, and you put down your base coat, and then you go over with some other colors for the shading that you want to do. I'm looking at possibly putting some moss effect and touching up the rocks a little bit, which I think will be really fun. And then I just use a hot glue gun, and hot glue puts those together. You can do a spray glue, but the hot glue gun does a great job because it kind of melts the foam a little bit. So my next project then is I've been building a wall, or walls, right? Which is pretty cool. I want kind of a fortress-like temple for the figures to venture into. So I'm beginning that one as well. I've got a few other plans. I want to get more of a green base. Like I've got this one. Check this out. As I say, completely amateuristic. So, ta-da, you know, risers to put them on for their battling. So I think that'll be really exciting. Just to go back to it, it's just foam cut, glued and cut and painted and sanded. So it's really easy if you're wanting to be able to make your own little base, right? To be able to, you know, just slices. It's, you know, you can clean it up and like here, like the rocks to do like the brickwork and all that. You just throw all that in there, and boom, you already got kind of a little brick, which is really awesome. Because for these fantasy characters, in the case of, say, like the Dragon Ball, they need a bit more fantasy place. It's fun to take them outside, but the area we live in is, as I say, is wetter, which can work out really good. You can get some really great photos with that. But you also can get some not so great photos. We also live in an area that has a lot of dogs, and that can be a little bit of a dangerous minefield for you, especially when you're crouching down in kind of weird areas to be able to take these photos. So, insulation foam, I just got mine at Home Depot. You could probably get it pretty much anywhere, and then you just hit up a craft store like Michael's, and you get your paints, browns, blacks, greens, yellows, whatever you want to do, and hot glue gun, and it was as simple as that to put it all together. But yeah, as you can see, Goku just looks really cool standing on this area, and then too, we can put them and you can battle them, and you know. So that's what I'll be doing, is taking a bunch of photos over the time with this here. And the nice thing too is this base plate here isn't actually attached to this, see? So if I wanted to, I can move things around and I can add pieces to it, because that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be multi-purposed. So there you have it, a quick little how I made my diorama for the photos that I'm doing on Instagram, mainly for these guys. Da-na. So, big thank you to Insane Dragon Ball for inspiring me to make videos. He does unboxing videos. I don't know if I will do unboxing videos or figure reviews. I might, but you never know, right? What could happen depending on if you enjoy this video or not. Pop Culture Crew are another one. They've inspired me to step out of my comfort zone a bit to do this. So Cup of Rad, find us our podcast. Me and my wife do a nerd podcast where we have a lot of fun. Also, just talking about anything, movies and all that. So definitely check that out. So I hope you all have an awesome day. Stay rad, and